On the iPad. All right, we have a young Dot right here. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want to follow the rules, so she's already sitting, but that's cool.
Sorry.
So this is actually the fourth installment of the Finesse Network series. I'm here with a good friend of mine, a fellow Hurricane. Let's go Canes. We have Dr. Adaora in the building. Soon to be Doc.
Soon to be.
So, do you have anything you want to say to address the people first before we begin?
I guess I'll just introduce myself, a little quick intro. Yes, my name is Adaora. I'm a first-year medical student at Georgetown University School of Medicine. What else? I don't really know exactly what type of doctor I want to be, but right now I'm really interested in dermatology. And
you see that skin? Come on now.
Me and Lawrence have been friends for a very long time since undergrad, and we've just kept in touch, and he played a really big part in helping me navigate through the whole med school application process. And he still helps me now. Sometimes I'll just text him out of the blue, do you think I should do this? And he's on his A game with the text back. So
I have to say, February just ended. This was shout out to Black History Month. Black Kings are born in February. I just turned 26, so shout out.
What he just said. But yeah, that's all about me.
All right, so we can get right to it. She didn't fill out the shit before, so it's kind of on the fly. So shame on her. She actually has not answered it, but we're gonna make it fun.
Yeah.
So first to start off, why did you go to Georgetown?
Oh, okay. So why did I go to Georgetown? So I applied to 16 schools, and basically what I did was I used the MSAR website to basically gauge where I was what is the word? I used it to gauge where I had the best chance at, basically. So Georgetown was one of those places, you could get in, you might not get in, yeah, I felt comfortable applying there based on my stats.
She was definitely getting in. That was not a reach.
Actually, Georgetown gets the most applications, I think, in the nation, out of all the med schools. So
still not a reach.
It was very.
Y'all don't know this lady.
And I did not apply on time either. So
and she's still here clearly. Yeah, not a reach.
Yeah, it was kind of a reach. So yeah,
It was just a good fit. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, I think it was a good fit based on my stats. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I wasn't really picky. I wasn't trying to be picky. With med school applications, you can't really be picky.
You gotta get in.
Apply to wherever.
Yeah, you gotta get in.
So I was like, okay, my score fits here, my score fits here, my score fits here. So I didn't really expect to hear back from them. It really wasn't one of my top choices, to be honest. It was just kind of if I get in, I get in. But
she definitely curved USC. I'm it's all good.
Anyways,
UCLA, all that.
So basically, I got my interview invite. I went to the school, and I was like, "Oh, this school's really nice. Bougie vibes. Loved it." And I really like DC too, so I was like, this is actually a possibility. So it went from being here on my list to here. Sorry if this is a long.
Yeah, that's pretty long
explanation. Okay, can I start over?
Nah, you can't. That was long. You got 2 more sentences you can add.
Okay. Basically, I chose it because I got offered a full scholarship.
Money.
Financial aid.
Money.
I got a full tuition scholarship to the school, so it was between my dream school in Georgetown, and I was not about to be...
Dream deferred. That's what we say, dream deferred.
Georgetown.
Yeah, money talks. Bullshit walks. So that's a message to the dream school. That's a message to all these med schools out here not paying us. Look, I'm talking.
Oh, exactly.
I'm not getting paid, and I should be getting paid. I done did way too much.
We all need to be getting paid.
Yeah,
with a stipend.
So apply on time and get money. Ask for money, and then ask for more money. All right, cool. That was a good answer. So next question: what is one thing? Never mind. Let's do it like this. What was the hardest part about getting into medical school?
That MCAT. I hate standardized testing, so the MCAT was actually really difficult for me. And also, if you don't have a program and you're just kind of studying any random facts and trying to do practice questions, it gets a little hard. So I think it was good for me to finally have direction. I used the Kaplan self-paced program.
Kaplan.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kaplan.
He put me on, actually. So I used that program, and it kind of helped me have a direction as to how I wanted to study.
Was there anything else that you did that helped you get to medical school in terms of preparing for the application or, applying?
I think it's really, really, really important to have a mentor. For one, especially as a minority student, you have to have someone that's guiding you through this process, because if no one else is going to help you, they will. Also, what else?
Any programs you went to, did, or anything like that?
I did do a program. I can't even remember what it was called.
Tragic.
Yeah. No.
I did a program. It's definitely the MCAT prep program at Miami Medical School of Medicine, and I remember that name. So.
Okay, I did a program at Mizzou. It was not an MCAT program, but it was just more like a prepare you for medical school type of program. And they they gave us a lot of information. They gave us feedbacks on our personal statements. And they also gave us a chance to do, I think, 2 mock med school interviews. And so that was really helpful in preparing like my answers to different questions. Because most of the time at all your med school interviews, they're going to ask you the same basic questions. So just having like a framework of how you want to answer those questions was really helpful, and getting feedback on it was really helpful.
Were you prepared before you went? Like, if you didn't go to that program, would you have been fine?
I think I would have been fine, yeah, but I don't think I would have been as confident.
Confidence is key. That's important. All right, so the most difficult part about getting in was the MCAT. That makes sense. Why was it difficult? Besides being a test.
Yeah. Just knowing that this one test is like going to define what school you get into, or define whether you get in or not, was a lot of pressure for me. And you only really have one shot at that one test. So once you go in, you have to be on your A game. And it's also just the fact that anything could go wrong. You could be feeling kind of down that day. Like, anything could go wrong and mess up that score. So you really do have to be on your A game. And also, it's frustrating when you are studying for that type of test and you're practicing, and your score only goes up slightly or something like that. Like, it's frustrating. And there's a lot of like, okay, I need to change how I study for this. Or there's a lot of different factors that play into it. But overall, I just feel like it's a lot of pressure, because pretty much everything depends on that one test. So
I mean, it's crazy because that shit never stops. Even in med school, there's a lot of the one tests that decide a lot. But there's kind of been changes happening. So yeah. We'll see. Were you prepared for the MCAT? Do you think?
When I took it, yeah, I was. Actually, not even gonna lie, when I walked out of the exam, I was like, dang, like, I messed that up. I'm never gonna get into medical school. But then I ended up with a bomb score, and I was like, okay. I remember I texted you. You were like one of the 2 people that I texted immediately. I was like, I got this score. And you were just like, I was so happy. But yeah, I think I was prepared.
I was gonna say, how many times did you take it?
I took it twice. So the first time, the score was just, honestly, the score was not bad.
It was not that bad. It was probably what I got.
I honestly took it again just because, like, the gunner in me was just like, yo.
It's not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough. So I took it again, and this time, like,
What was different?
I used the Kaplan program.
You didn't use it the first time?
Before, I just studied, like, on my own, trying to be queen MCAT girl, and yeah, that's not the move. So I think having a program and using flashcards to actually retain the information literally like doubled my score. So yeah,
you really had a great score. Did you have a schedule for this? Like, how did you like go about it? Just like studying whenever? A lot of people were trying to do what you did.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can tell them for that?
Did I have a schedule? I actually did not have a schedule. And even in medical school now, I do not use a schedule. I just kind of study. So I just knew, like, I would wake up one day and I'd be like, okay, so today I'm going to study this one topic in physics because I know that I suck at this topic. So I would spend literally the whole day studying. I would go to the library and do just a bunch of practice questions until my brain was like, no more. And I limited the amount of times that I went out and partied and stuff. So yeah, just staying focused and being like, okay, today I want to focus on this topic. Today I want to focus on this topic was important. But I didn't have a set schedule as to what exactly I was going to do that week or anything.
Okay, now that you made it to the promised land of medical school, you know what I'm saying, it's a long road. What is something that you wish you knew when you were pre-med that you know now? Just about medical school,
Okay, so
Because as a pre-med student, it's really just you don't know what's going on, Now that you're in there now, what do you think that you wish you would have known?
So I knew med school was gonna be, well, there's two things. So I knew med school was gonna be really, really time consuming, but I didn't know it was gonna be like this.
That time consuming.
Like, there are times where I'm like so busy, I'm like, I cannot breathe. Like, I literally just need to like turn off all my devices and just close my eyes and just breathe for a second because I'm like, I have so much to do and I don't know how it's gonna get done, but it gets done.
How? If you say you have a lot to do, how do you manage that?
Close your eyes and it happens. I don't know. I'm just kidding. No. So I use Google Calendar.
Okay.
Having a calendar is very important.
Necessity.
As soon as someone says, "Hey, Adaora, I would like to meet you for coffee at so-and-so at 6:15," exactly. Put
Click
it in your
that
calendar.
shit right there. Boom.
Because if you don't,
it's over with.
It's over with. You have to put things in your calendar immediately as soon as you know something is happening. Even if it's like little things like meeting up with a friend or turning something in, like anything. Put it in your calendar or else you will forget. So doing that was really helpful. Also, I wish I knew how isolating it could be sometimes as well. I live by myself, so that probably plays a pretty big part in that. But I wish I had known that sometimes it gets pretty bad, like when you're studying all the time by yourself. It could be very isolating, and sometimes I forget that I even have friends. So yeah, I think it's really important once you get to the other side to be able to balance like your outside life with your school life.
Okay. How do you manage that isolation?
Oh, so
do you just deal with it?
This block especially. So I think my first block was really isolating. My second block was very isolating. But now for this block, I kind of went into it with a mindset of I need to take care of myself. This block. So now I make it a priority to at least go out once a week. Like, there's no harm in going out once a week. I could still make A's on my exams if I go out once a week.
And she's making A's.
Yes. So, yeah, that's really important. And making time for your family and friends, like, even if it's just 30 minutes on the phone, call them. Call your friends, talk to them about something other than medical school, and that really helps a lot.
That's a good point. Especially, you're studying alone or even you're feeling discouraged, reaching out to people definitely help you. Me personally, whenever I talk to my mom, I'm like, look, Mom, I don't even know about this test, you know what I'm saying? Look, every test, I'm like, man, I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And she always tell me, shut up, you know what I'm saying? Like, you built for this, you got here for a reason and it's yours. You got to believe it, work hard, but it's already yours, I believe in you. You already did it, right? And so even just to hear that, stuff like that definitely goes a long way. Mm-hmm. What keeps you going?
What keeps me going?
We could say two-part. One, while you're a pre-med student, what kept you going? And also now, while you're in medical school, what do you lean on that keeps you going?
When I was a pre-med student, what kept me going? So I like challenges. And I feel like pre-med was a challenge, but I knew that med school was going to be another challenge. And that stuff just kind of excites me, like knowing that, oh, this is something that's difficult. Ooh. But once I get in, I'm going to be so happy and thankful that I'm in. And, there's going to be another hill to get over once I'm in residency. And then, once I'm actually a doctor. So it was always that, like, I guess, excitement of the unknown that keeps me going. And I think it's pretty rewarding. Like, now that I'm here, I'm so glad that I did it. It's very rewarding to be a med student. And
how rewarding is it?
It's so rewarding. Like,
what are you getting from being a med student?
Respect. Like, not even gonna lie, people respect me 10 times more now that I can wear like things like this when I walk around.
Patagucci.
Even this white coat. People respect you, and it's sad that it takes something like this for people to give you common decency, but like honestly, people respect me a lot more. Even when it comes to dating, when it comes to just walking through the hospital, like people don't look at you like you're an idiot anymore. Like, because I feel like that's what it was like before I had all this. Yeah, it's the respect that comes with it too that has changed.
That's a good point. So would you say that's the best part of this journey?
The respect? No. I kind of mentioned it before, but like it's just so rewarding. I haven't really gotten a whole lot of patient contact yet, but the little that I have gotten, greatly rewarding. Learning, even though it sucks studying,
Yeah.
even though it sucks, like, you know, having to memorize all these random facts, but
when you know it,
it feels amazing.
And you can help, and you got the answer.
Yeah, when you got the answer to things, it feels so good. Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power.
And, you know, it's really cool because I'll be having, like, casual conversations with people, and then they'll mention something like, oh, why does the heart do this anyways? I'm like, let me tell you. Yeah. Let me tell you.
Preload, afterload.
Afterload, hypertrophy of the left ventricle.
Look, that's over there now. She got real notes.
I know, I got notes.
EKGs.
Yeah, when you really understand things, it just makes life seem, you look at life differently, like, so this is why that happens. Yeah.
I think that's a good point. You know, I think med school, a lot of it is kind of memorizing certain things, but it gets to a point where you understand it's a system, right? And it gets to a point where you learn the basics, and then you don't even have to know the complicated part, but from your understanding of the little pieces, you can say something that makes sense, and it can be correct from your understanding.
Yeah.
And so I will say that's extremely different from pre-med. Pre-med, we're here just learning random facts and memorizing things that don't belong together. And, you know, it's very discouraging. I think that's really one of the reasons that people don't get to med school is because of pre-med content that we're forced to take. But at the same time, when we get to med school, that's not even what we're learning. So I think that's a big part. You know, it's important to know that, you know, what you're dealing with now as a pre-med student is not what you're going to be dealing with as a medical student. You know, if you want to be a physician, you're here to learn about the body. You're here to learn about humans and contact. And, you know, in medical school, we deal with that. We learn about the organs. We learn about the heart, like she's saying. We learn about these things right here, you know what I'm saying? But
my little model.
You know, this heart is almost as big as mine. Look, mine's bigger, though. But the thing is, like, it's different when you get there. It's fun. You know, it's exciting. You're learning some new things. And it's very different from pre-med. So I would definitely say, like, to some people that are discouraged, get through it. You know, it's really just something that has to be like an obstacle to overcome. But once you get through it, the hard part's done. And you get to actually learn and study what you've been looking forward to. So that's one thing I wanted to say. If you had any advice you could give to a pre-med student from what you know now, what would it be?
Two things. One, if you're having any second thoughts about your future, like, I don't even think I like medicine, I'm doing this because my parents, or I'm doing this because I think I'm going to get clout. Trust me, this journey is difficult.
It's serious.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine someone going through this who doesn't really want to be here. So if you don't...
Have you encountered that, do you think?
Somebody that didn't want to be here? Not yet, but I'm just saying, because I know being in the pre-med program, there were a lot of people who were doing it because their parents were doctors, whatever. Like, if you are not passionate about this, I would say 0 out of 10, do not recommend. Like,
straight up.
It's difficult. It's really, really difficult. And you will be miserable if this is not something that you want to do. Because it's a lot of work. And then what was the second thing I was going to say?
On that note, I would say that's important because, like, yeah, this shit ain't worth it. If you, even just like for the money, you know what I'm saying? If you're trying to make money, there are way better ways.
There's so many other ways to make money.
That don't make you age faster. You know what I'm saying? That don't invoke as much stress, you know. Even if you want to help people, you know, like, there's other ways you can help people, honestly. So that's a good point. I think it's important to really evaluate if this is what you want and this is the career you want to get into because it's a grind. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't stop. She's talking about the MCAT. Step 1 is the same thing. They just changed it, though, so it's pass-fail.
Yeah.
But step 2 is still there. You still got step 3. You know, these tests are there, and you know, those moments where you're alone studying by yourself at 2 a.m. and you ain't slept and your test is the next day, you know, it hits you. So, like, you really have to know if you really want to do it because if it's something that you're not really willing to do, like, I would say don't apply.
Don't
like,
bother.
You may need to do something else because...
It's a lot of money to apply to.
Yeah, you're gonna be down bad and you're going to be sad. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, nobody wants to be in that position. You said you had something else.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, take your time now to find a mentor and don't be shy because there's lots of people who are willing to help you. I mean, there are people that are mean about it and, like, they're not trying to help you. But there are a lot of people who are trying to help you. So take the time to find a mentor, someone who can guide you so you don't make too many mistakes, like, along the way. I think that was important for me to have. And I had a pretty successful application cycle because of a mentor.
Okay, we're wrapping up here. Do you have any plugs you want to give to the people in the Finesse Network? I know you're doing your thing out here in DC.
Oh, okay.
Anything you want to share?
So I have my own channel. Is it a channel? Instagram page, whatever. It's called Medical Milestones _. So that's just one of my pages I use to give advice to people who are trying to get into medical school. I have a lot of videos on there. I do giveaways sometimes. Haven't been exactly like active lately because exams are coming up. But usually during like my breaks in between exams, I try to make videos and give more advice and stuff. So check out my page again at Medical Milestones _.
Yeah. Last question. Dermatology. Why dermatology? I think it's important. We don't have a lot of dermatologists, and it's definitely a very challenging field to get into. Is that why you wanted to do it?
I mean, yes, it's a challenge, and I love challenges. But another thing, so you mentioned like there's not a lot of black faces in dermatology, and it's really important. So I think what inspired me, I'm not trying to make this too long.
No, you could.
Okay. So I think what inspired me with derm, so I worked with a black dermatologist during my gap year before medical school, and so she was black, and she also specialized in treating skin of color. So a majority of the patients that we saw were African Americans, and it was great because, well, it wasn't great, but it was great because
it was great.
Yeah, it was great because we were able to just see all types of different patients. So we had patients coming from like Arkansas, we had patients coming from California, all because they were just so frustrated that they could not find a black doctor who was able to like see whatever skin condition, hair condition, nail condition that they had and treat it properly. So that's a big issue. We don't really have a lot of black dermatologists. So the ones that we do have, or not the black dermatologists, but non-people of color dermatologists that we do have are not able to recognize certain things that are unique to our skin. So I think it's really important to enhance diversity in dermatology, and that's what I'm trying to do, which is why I'm pursuing it. And also, just generally, I love the duality that comes with dermatology. You can give people fillers and Botox one day, and then the next day you're treating psoriasis. You're treating, Steven Johnson syndrome. Like, there's a lot of duality to it, and I can't see that I can really get tired of doing that. And I think working with a dermatologist for a year showed me that.
And I'm sure the lifestyle and the pay ain't too bad. So
that's also a plus. But
sure.
Other than that, it's a beautiful field.
All right, we're gonna wrap up here. I want to say thank you so much, Adaora. She's really inspiring, and she's really one of the smartest people I know. Like I would definitely recommend y'all hit her up, Medical Milestones _ ask her questions, because she's doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
And keep doing it. All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Peace.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for watching. Hope you learned some. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at premedfinesse. And please check out our online forums, premedfinesse.com. Peace.